Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I'm a healer, and this is a card reading where we are going to be bringing through messages that Spirit wants you to have for those of us who are on our journey of spiritual growth and evolution. And I'm including myself in that because I've been loving these messages and learning so much, and I hope that you also will love and learn from this video and the messages shared here. So love, let's see what Spirit wants to talk to us about today. This is the Earth Warriors deck by Alana Fairchild. So Spirit, Spirit, what do you have for us? The great beloved, we've got an overall energy of second chances bring success. Diamond Tiger of the Black Moon. So if at first you don't succeed, try and try and try again. And I love this. It's coming through with this energy of the tiger, which is power. And there's a relentlessness to it. Have you ever seen a tiger stalk its prey? The way it moves, and it's like every single paw. The paws are so heavy and they land, and there's deliberateness in every single move and in making its way forward towards a destination, and again towards its prey. And so this is a message that has to do with deliberateness, intentionality within the awakening process. Because second chances bring success. It's really talking about, wow, nice. It's this message about how the purpose of awakening in this era that we're living in, that we're currently living in, the purpose of awakening and why so many of us are going through the awakening process, not every single one of us, but by all means, but you're here, I'm here, right? Those of us who are on this part of the awakening process, the purpose is not to just awaken and be great, though I did think that. I had a huge awakening in 2016. Everything was light, everything was love. And I just wanted to go off into an ashram or a nunnery and sit and hold this vibration. I probably have soul memories of having done that before. It seemed like the thing to do, but no, there's stuff to do. It's about awakening. It's about realizing that level of consciousness and awareness and then bringing it back into life and having a second go at something, a second go at relationships, at projects, at running a business, at being an employee, at being part of a church, at being part of a community, at being part of a family, and so on and so forth, raising children, having a relationship, a marriage. There is a different way in which things can be done through the awakening process, and that's what Spirit wants to talk about. There is a bigger kind of end game to it. Well, this is not going to be the end game, but there's a bigger purpose other than the beauty and the gift and the amazing experience of awakening in and of itself. It's wonderful in and of itself. You know, it's worthwhile to awaken, just to be awakened, and every little bit that you awaken more is worthwhile in and of itself. Its Spirit wants to talk about a bigger picture to it. So 2 or 3, 2. We've got Ingonyama, Honor of the Ancient King, Divine Masculine Energy showing up again with with the Master Builder number 22. Again, if you've been seeing this on the channel, I think there are 3 decks that have the combination. Here it is again. We've got Elha's Divine Might Foretold, which is also Divine Masculine Energy, I believe. So let's see how Spirit wants to put it together. Honor of the Ancient King is a message about sovereignty. So we just saw the tiger, and now we have the lion, and I believe they're kings in different jungles, so in different territories. In the territory where there are tigers, the tiger is king. In the territory where there are lions, the lion is king. And it's the same thing, it's the same kind of message. It would be actually a very typical thing, I believe, that people talk about, in the sense that tigers will kill and eat even if they're not hungry, but lions will only kill and eat when they're hungry. So I believe that's true, but the point is it's that kind of distinction that comes in. With the tiger energy, there's something that is very self-serving. There's something also about being powerful for its own sake, to be valuing power in and of itself. And then this lion energy, divine masculine energy that's coming in, is much more about what I'm going to use that power for. I don't just have power to have power. I have power to use it for something. And with Divine Might Foretold, Spirit is saying, yeah, use it for the highest good of all. It's an awakening that is not just for you. It's an awakening that inherently in and of itself just puts out a completely different energy into the collective, into the human collective, and brings change and transformation in at an energetic level in a way that is so powerful that we cannot even imagine. Because just the fact to be in this kind of masculine energy, and especially divine masculine energy, there's intentionality, and when you're living with intentionality, that drives the whole of the collective in a different direction, to a different degree. The energy that you put into the collective, that you participate with in the collective, when that energy is intentional, you have much more pull and much more influence than someone who is participating with energy that is not intentional, that is unconscious, and so on and so forth. It's like you hone your energy, you work it to get it really, really sharp, and that sharper sword has more power than the dull blade that's just been lying around and that isn't taken care of and isn't again sharpened over and over again through your own devices, but also through the universe. And it's that kind of energy. It's divine might foretold. And I'm seeing like a katana, which also brings back this ancient king energy. There was a little bit of that, ancient kings, ancient times, ancestors. There I'm seeing like a katana, which is a Japanese sword, and they have this way of forging them that is thousands of years old. And I believe again that that knowing is actually getting lost, that people don't know how to forge those swords like they used to back in the day, that it has been lost over time. And so in essence, Spirit is saying that there's a way of being human that also has been lost over time, and to some extent never even existed, because it's something that you're going to create, that we're going to create in this era. How to take that old ancient way of being, honoring it, and then manifesting it in the modern era. So it would be something like being in a very ancient and very pure and uplifted level of consciousness, but on the internet, walking down the street, doing your shopping, again, raising your kids in the year 2023 and plus, where all kids, or most kids, a lot of kids, are plugged into electronics, and so on and so forth. That there are challenges in the present era that we are intended to encounter, and with the king energy to rule over, to dominate is the right word, have dominion over, so that our version supersedes the challenge itself and is manifested, and in a way that changes the game. You see all these colors? Oh, it's beautiful. All of these colors, all of these dynamics, all of these levels are going to be coming in. And that moon right over the third eye. And they all have it, actually. Something right over the third eye. So it's divine masculine energy, definitely bringing a higher vision to bear in the world. You need it here. You need it here. And then I have a book that will come out when it's time, right? But in the book, I remember there's a line about how the spiritual battlefields of our time are in the supermarket. They're in our plates. They are in our schools, in our boardrooms. That's where we need this more enlightened energy. It's spent thousands of years being in ashrams, being in churches, being in the strictly religious sphere. It's needed in everyday life now. So with that, we have Mama Kia, Mandala of the Moon, and ooh, what must be shall be. Love it. Mandala of the Moon is talking about a season, a time, and an arrival. This is the season, this is the time for it. But not right now as I'm recording this. And whenever you're listening to it, the message will be the same. There's a season coming ahead where there's going to be this convergence. And again, oh, this is a puma though. But yeah, that kind of energy showing up again. This predatory energy, predator in the best way possible, right? Focused on a goal, that focus and that drive towards a goal, intentionality is showing up in this energy, and it's going to have its day. It's going to have its time. There is something about the flow of the moon, the movement of the seasons, of the planets, of existence, of life, that is favoring this, that is supporting this, just like she's holding it up. It's coming, and just as no one can stop the turning of the moons, no one can make the moon slow down or speed up. It's going to come in its own time, in its own way. And it's very much about developing the leadership needed to be there at the right time, in the right place, and to bring forward this energy, which I believe echoes the messages we have shared previously, not just here, but also there's a playlist that talks about the paradigm. I forget what it's called. No, this is energy paradigm. Sorry, I'm channeling, so it's not so much in the details, but that's what it is. That's the challenge. You got to bring the channeled energy into the details, into the boardrooms, it's not like you can go into a boardroom and go, well, I guess spirit would be saying that maybe. No, you have to be on point, you have to know, and you have to be able to bring that energy. And that's just one example, right? It's the same thing again in supermarket, parenting. There is an energy that is talking about right now, it's the time to get super clear on your focus, super clear on your purpose, super clear on your intentions, on your will. What are you willing? What are you willing to show up for, to embody, to live for? Where are you willing to put your energy and your focus and your time and your drive and your purpose and your love and your light and your power? Because wherever that is, whatever that is for you, your season is going to come. Spirit is going to back you up. Spirit is going to carry you forward with that, because the intention, even before you were born, even before you knew it, even before you were aware of it, was for someone like you, someone who is you, to show up and embody that thing at that time, in that space, in that moment. And that's why we have what must be shall be. Spirit wants you to, take the pressure off. Don't be stressing about this. Don't feel like it's a burden. Don't feel like it is necessarily a necessity either, or like something you have to do, something that you are fated to do even. Destiny is a living thing. It's the unfolding of potential, and you have your will, not just your free will, which is part of our human self, but you have at a soul level, you have your soul will. So you can will things to be one way or another, but either way, what must be shall be. This is destined. And again, we have all those cycles of the moon and the passing of the moon. It's where it's headed. This is destined. What must be shall be. It's almost like a law of the universe. There can't be a paradox. It's gonna happen. And you're going to be a part of it to whatever degree. You get to choose. You get to have some time to choose. What does that look like? How big is it, right? Is it this big? Is it this big? Is it this big? Is it this big? That's okay too. A lot of people have a lot of healing that they need to do with themselves. And we are not burdened in the same way. We don't have the same ancestries. We don't have the same life paths and life journeys and life experiences. We don't have the same wounding. We don't have the same trauma. So we don't all need to show up in the same way and to the same degree. And in general, the less burdened you are, the more you've healed yourself, then the bigger it's going to be, the more you can participate. But if you have a lot of stuff, then you can take that time to heal yourself. And again, what must be shall be. In linear time, this can mean maybe you'll show up 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now, right? Maybe you will show up tomorrow. It really has to do and it has to be about your path. It has to be about your experience. It has to be about your healing. That has to be the deciding factor here. Spirit loves you so much, so much. And there's no space for compromising, or for, what would be the word? There's no space, for compromising on what you need to grow into this full version of yourself, to manifest that and to awaken into this fuller version of yourself. There's no compromise between that and what the world needs from you, your participation and you showing up. No compromise. There's space for all of it. What must be shall be, and however it will be fine and perfect and dandy. So there's a card that jumped, and I will just I'm gonna pick it up. It's a journey. It's a reach. So this is the card, and we are gonna end on this. Look at this beautiful energy. This is Pueo, guardian of the Aumakua. And you have here this beautiful, beautiful being connected to the self, listening to spirit and moving in the world. And when you read the text, it talks about someone who is in the world and chooses to follow the laws of spirit, the perspective, the principles of spiritual existence, and is punished by it, by the rule, the system, right? And then as they are about to be put to death because of it, then all of these owls come in and they darken the sun and they save him. And so the card, the guidance in the card is talks about following your own path, doing what you need to do, and then being supported and protected by spirit to stay on the right path, to avoid things that are harmful to you, things that would steer you off your path, things that just wouldn't serve your highest good. And in that sense, what Spirit is saying is, in this instance, is that wanting to go too fast or wanting to do too much, to give too much, it could come from the system, right? Within the analogy, the imagery in that I was talking about in the story, is that we think we're following Spirit, but really we're thinking we're following the system, which says, you got to be here now, you got to do this, and you have to give. And like, wrenching that last bit of you, or something that you don't want to give or that you can't afford to give, and I don't mean just money, but you can't afford to give your integrity, your rest, your health, your well-being, your integrity, your patience. There's things that we have to hold on to be well ourselves, to be centered and balanced in ourselves. And anything or anyone or any situation or circumstance that you perceive or experience as asking you to let go of something that you need to be well, that's not Spirit. That's not the plan of divine love asking it from you. It's coming from the system. It's coming from indoctrination. It's coming from the old paradigm. And Spirit will protect you from that. Enemies within and without. Spirit will protect you from that, because the path, we can be led astray by what's going on in the world, but we can also lead ourselves astray. And therefore, it is important for you to know that you are protected. It's simply a matter of pausing, listening, tuning in, listening, hearing. And of course, living it out, right? Of course, living it out. So love, that was the message. Those were the messages that Spirit had for you today. I hope that this video served you. I'm sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best. If you'd like to work with me, I do offer intuitive readings where we can do this one-on-one. We can look at your awakening process one-on-one. I do have one especially called Soul Connection, and intuitive readings where I look at soul connection. I also look at life purpose. I also do self-love and love and relationships, but that might be less relevant in the context of this conversation. But it is up to you. It's in the description box. I've also created awesome energy healings, like energy clearings, self-healings, words that you speak to co-create powerful healing in your life, where Spirit activates people, places, and things in your life. Very, very wide range of products, and they are also very powerful, but they're well priced. It's a gift from Spirit. So if it speaks to you, check it out. Sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best, and I will be seeing you around the channel. Happy awakening. Bye, love.